Bammysoy versus pomoika. Neither of us like the Zeus, but Mobay did win some unwinnable games back on Ancient Tribe on Zeus, so maybe he's the one that was just calling for it, being like, guys, don't worry, I got this.
We can only hope. I'm just terrified. I don't even know what Samson goes for necessarily if he does just decide to turn it into the Magic Lina, which is much better right now, or if he just decides, okay, I guess I'm just gonna do the Maelstrom thing again, the nerfed Maelstrom thing. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be happy with the Lina no matter what, but we'll see. At least you're laning with the Tusk. That will prop you up no matter what. The Tusk will make you look better, and maybe that'll be the end of that lane, but I think Fade gets an early Ring of Health, gets an early Vanguard, gets to farm up a Storm. I just feel like that hero's going to shatter. As soon as AA Blast is online, as soon as you get to just Blink Initiate, Blink Stomp, take her out, it's a very, very hard hero to not die on. Because you just get run down. You just get hounded. But we'll see. No, not going to be too much of a downer, you know? There is hope. And on the other side of the map, you've got Moo, who's going to be stacking Ancients, farming Ancients. We get to see Bristleback in the offlane now. This side of the stream hasn't got to see it just yet. You know, I think Speed's played it twice now, because, man, he makes that hero look great.
Yeah. Speed played it, Gunner played it earlier today. But for our side, it's going to be the first time we get an example of this offlane BB. One thing that's also going to suck kind of as this game scales later. If I'm Zento, I really want to buy a Pipe of Insight in this game. My goodness, if I buy a Pipe, I feel so good. We detract from so much of the damage output from Bammysoy. But there's a long time to go before that portion of the game arrives. For now, we focus on our lanes. On the top side of the map, oh my god, this is going to be so boring. Just trading farm. Like, there's no stuns here. Like, how does anybody kill anybody? You have to be so out of position to die in the top lane.
Yeah, it'll come down to whoever struggles the most to maintain control of these camps. It's really the only way that AA or Phoenix get taken down. Once we get Icarus Dive, maybe some interesting things can happen, but until then, it's waiting. It's just being chill. It's being patient. I think that's where bottom lane we might see some more sparks fly, just with how Brambles work, how much more damage potential this lane has in general, as well as once Fade starts spamming that double edge. You never know what's going to happen, but it's also all going to be Samson's fault if he does get taken down. He's got to be careful. He does not want to end up feeding. No Flea. Be a little careful here, but let's go with the big stick.
He's actually might be in a bit of danger. Like you said, he did pop the stick. It looked like Samson didn't actually believe they were going to get that kill. He was staccato with the first couple of hits. I think had he gone in immediately, they might have found the first blood, but it is also one of those situations where you ask yourself, hey, I can get some decent traction on a couple creeps, maybe even kill a range creep. Is it worth a maybe kill on Flea? If we don't get it 100%, probably not. So I get it.
Nah.
But they might go now onto Fade. They get him inside the eye shards here. Fade is in danger. They did get a lot of damage out onto him, but yet again, unable to completely tick him over.
Yeah, and unfortunately in this lane, Flea's got the get out of jail free card, just means that Husky is going to keep all of that tag team damage focused on him. He's the one that gets clicked, he's the one that eats that punishment. It's so difficult for him to just walk up simply, because he's getting prosecuted. But mid!
What? No! Oh my god, dude. Alright, Kit's getting revenge for what happened in the previous game. He solo kills the Zeus in the mid lane. It wasn't even like he was dominating the lane. They were even on the CS department. But now, massive advantage. No supports to share experience with. This is just a straight up dub coming in for Kits in this mid.
Yeah, just wrong position. I don't know if he used his hop already or what transpired there, but just stuff happens. You're playing versus Magnus. You get dragged under tower. You eat a few many 2 hits and then get taken down. Kits is level 4 now. It's exactly what he wants.
Top lane Moo. Gets cold feet procced on him and doesn't really care. Gonna take a Lotus out. He's just chilling. And it is offlane Bristleback, so we'll see if he's gonna decide to do the Zaya / collapse build. I'm only 1 point into the BB passive.
I think you can get away with it this game. There is a decent amount of physical damage coming out, but it's slow. I don't think you're gonna have to worry about getting bursted. While side lane, Ring of Health done on Fade. And now it just feels like it's time for these offlaners to become bullies of sorts. We've got the 2 Ring of Prots as well, so Fade is ready to get clicked by Samson for the foreseeable future.
This brings me back to the days of Centaur double stout shield. Ah, good times. No, actually, they were not good times. It was awful. Speaking of the Centaur, though, he might be in trouble down bottom. Caught inside the ice shards. Eating quite a lot of damage here. One more right click from Samson is enough to kill him. And Husky, he might get fallen down, though, in revenge for this. He's certainly going to die. No, Flea hit him a bit too soon. Nonetheless, finds the kill, and he dodges the LSA, denying Samson the chance for a double. Alright. I'm fine with this. I guess if you're on the side right now, Bammysoy, you're obviously a lot happier that Sammy got to be involved in the kill, and you brought down Fade, but they positioned correctly enough. I don't think they'll be able to do that again that easily anyway.
No, definitely not. And I did peep his items. He is just going for the Falcon Blade into Maelstrom on Lina, so it's, you know, it's whatever. But
I mean, you play this hero sort of
dead.
like, what? He actually died? How? Dude, that lost Fire Spirit connected from Blink? Alright, Blink has been on one, honestly. This series, he has been playing out of his freaking mind.
I think it's catching these players off guard as well. Phoenix just does so much damage. You don't expect it. You don't expect him to just do 200 or 300 damage with how slow it ends up coming through. But you burn. You die. It hurts. And that's where another advantage for them to play around. You're getting level 6 pretty soon here on the Zeus. Then these side lanes become even more fragile. But that's just Fade getting right-clicked to death. Classic lane, tag team, making this Lina carry look a little better.
I guess Lina, nowadays, you also build Silver Age this game after all of this, right? I imagine you basically play like Muerta. That would make sense to me.
Pretty much.
Oh boy. So things going really well for them down bottom. That's gonna maybe open up space for Husky to make a rotation. But Husky right now, he might be needed, but he's not gonna be able to arrive to the mid lane in time as Mobe gets immediately punished. The RP came out, they drag him under the tower. Flea gets credited with the kill, but it also meant that they utilized the first Thunder God's Wrath of the game. Top lane though, we're about to lose Link, but he denied himself. Who is this guy? Why is he so good? And now Moo in the top lane ends up killing the Lifestealer after we just saw a little skirmish in the river, which led to the death of this Dark Willow. Dude, this top lane is going really, really well. The bottom lane is going really, really well. Bammysoy just proving to be a cut above at the moment in the laning phase.
No, Moo just keeps getting the Lotuses. He's going to have Arcane Boots soon. Kit's had a beautiful turn RP in the mid lane. That's the nicest thing going on right now. Even though, look at this, keeping bottom on Magnus, but you've got no RP. You're only half HP too. You got to be a little bit careful here, but...
There's no mana left on the Lina, fortunately. She only has enough for a single spell. Husky will just walk north, taking away the attention from this Lina, allowing her to escape with her life. But that's another death for Fade, man. Things were not looking so terrible in the first like level or two, but since then, bottom lane has turned into an absolute disaster for the Centaur.
Yeah, in every moment that you drag Kits out of his lane, he just pushes in the wave, gets more space. It's very passive, but yeah, navigating right now. Abyss, gotta be so careful.
The Samson rotation. He's here, even with rage, bro. You are so dead. They're gonna give the Sunray over to the Lina to ensure that she gets back all her HP. Throws out one more right click onto the Lifestealer. And that is the third death of the game for the Lifestealer. Pressure being applied to the tier 1 tower. Moo starting to creep skip on his Bristleback. And Samson, already more than like, what, a third of the way towards Maelstrom. Is going to get even closer now because they found Fade inside the full combo of spells. Mega kill streak for Samson. I don't know how it's possible, ET, but this game is looking even more punishing than the last one.
No, and it's where you gotta be so careful. Biggest quality of life change for Lina is just the fact that whenever you Laguna Blade, you're immediately at 10 stacks. There's no ramp up. Single targets just die in those situations and gets punished. Moo might finally be taken down here. But again, you drag Kits for a moment. Now he's gonna have to walk all the way back mid. He's not spending time farming nearly as much as he'd like to. He's second highest net worth because these rotations keep working, but it's not what you want. Mobe cleans up the kill on Flea, gets the illusion rune. He's just accelerating towards that phylactery.
Alrighty. Phylactery not that far away. Oh boy. They're ahead on kills by 4, but ahead in net worth by 3k. And also down bottom, this first tier 1 tower of the game looks like it's in jeopardy of falling. Samson should be able to pick this one up. Only 600 gold away from having the full Maelstrom with power trades and a Falcon Blade. He is obscenely farmed right now.
He is absolutely massive. Husky's level 6 already. The Tusk just continues to snowball in every single game we've gotten to watch. And this is another smoke play. Again, they're taking kits out of his lane. It just needs to work. If this doesn't work, this is a good minute and a half where the Magnus is not getting closer towards this Blink Dagger. And if they get red, they're the ones losing everything right now. The mid lane's open. A support's going to eventually travel back here, but
they're going top.
I don't know.
They took the Twin Gate. They're going to go find this Lifestealer again.
Not again.
So not only does the move not work, it happens at the worst possible time because they now are not available to help out the Lifestealer. Does his best with the Infest plays, but he will get Laguna bladed, killed off, and the tier 1 tower should fall very shortly afterwards. You could literally not script a better game, a better start for the side of Bammysoy than what's happening in this game.
No, and then you get vision of the Magnus bottom with the ward on their own Twin Gate. You realize that, oh hey, we just wasted a ton of time. Kits goes back to farming. He's going to try to get a 10-minute rune now, and you're just not connecting with your plays. And now it feels like we're going to let Bammysoy get away with everything until we have these Blink Daggers done. Then we can take another stab at getting some of these smoke plays going, but it's very slow. It's very, very slow Dota, and they don't like having to play like this, but there's really nothing else you can do. You've got Stampede now, which could allow you to maybe get on top of either the Lina or the Zeus, but they have to be so out of position for that miracle play to happen. In the meantime, Samson's got Maelstrom. He's farming. It's looking like the Lina Major.
What an event that was. That event was lit though. Let's not lie. That was pretty cool. It was pretty fun. South American fans go really buck for Dota. It was wonderful to watch. Husky. You see, I see Fade is now level 6. I think one of the reasons they've been struggling is not just the lack of their Blink Daggers, but without the Stampede, them closing the gap was practically impossible. That is a bit easier now, and they're about to get the Blink Dagger, so a really powerful spike in power is about to arrive for them. The thing is, though, I'm looking across this map, and they don't actually have that much vision, so they'll have this power ET, but where can they actually deploy it on the map?
Yeah, that's where you go down the list. You say to yourself, who is our target? It's most likely going to be the Lina farming her triangle, or the Zeus farming the camps right next to his tower. But any of those plays is that dive we were talking about in draft. You mess up, the snowball gets off. You mess up, the egg is already laid down in front of you. The margin for error is going to become basically nothing. And you're going to have to drag a hero out to do this. Now Kits has to get even more active. He hasn't spent time accelerating. There's no Echo Saber built up right now. And it's still a great blink timing. Best case scenario right now, they catch this Lina top. And they are pinging. But Samson has really got to be stubborn here to stay for this wave. Instead, maybe they get the Zeus on the 12-minute runes.
I mean, he's fine. They had an Observer Ward in the Dire jungle. They saw him. Oh, they saw the Magnus and the AA. Samson knew what's up. Might be a small skirmish here around one of these runes as Flea is inside the Shadow Realm taking damage from Blink. Blink really wants to kill. The burn damage should be enough and Flea will indeed tick out. There is an RP though directly onto Samson with the Ice Blast on top of him. They try to save him with the Snowball, but it arrives a second too late. Lifestealer able to kill off this Lina, and now with the Snowball forward, Husky will find himself perhaps mispositioned, but Tumblr's Toy enables him to dodge the Shockwave. Try to TP out. It was going to be a very cheeky play. Ends up failing. Look cool though. But what looks really cool is them being able to finally kill Lina and get an obscene amount. 1,000 gold for the Lifestealer. Kind of recovers his early game for him.
Yeah, I think Samson, just slight misstep there. He's got daytime vision. He had the Zeus ulti as well, but just gets grabbed a little bit too quickly. Maybe thought he was safe because the Zeus ult had just disabled that Mag's Blink, but it's taken out. It's the punish that they wanted. Unfortunately, it's a punish that leads to nothing, though. They don't get to pressure that mid tower at all. Everybody goes back to their own lane after the fact. You used RP. Everybody's just going to start farming again. And then we have to wait for that next play. Specifically, we need to wait for the Centaur to also finish up his own blink. In the meantime, pomoika are going to try another smoke here, but this is just skewer. So this is high risk, high reward here. They're looking for the Zeus, but they're going to pop on the bristle and see everyone.
Oh, they actually find 2 heroes with the skewer, but the snowball, unfortunately for them, not even needed because they got off the supernova so quickly. And like you said, whenever that happens, the fight is just over. Supernova comes out, Magnus and AA are dead. And man, the execution for that combo is just too difficult, man. Like, you have to get Ice Blast out, the Bedlam, the Brambles Terrorize, all before any of these spells emerge. It's just too much to ask.
And that was the play that they were gunning for. They were looking for a skewer into Terrorize. I can only imagine onto Zeus, because they just don't have the damage. Magnus isn't doing any right-click or physical damage right now. He doesn't have Echo Saber. He doesn't have items. He doesn't have a ton of levels because he's been rotating so much. Best thing you could say is that at least they're buying space for Fade. Fade, who had Stampede, I think, as well during all that. So I think his team knew that everybody had messed up in that situation. We see he's only about 100 gold off, and then maybe we see a contribution from this Centaur. But in the meantime, Bammysoy, they're the ones aggressing. They don't have Egg, but they want to land somewhere here. They're keeping everyone onto this lifesteal right now.
Okay, can they find the snowball comes in onto Fade and Lifestealer? They get in the infest into the Centaur. Might still end up dead though. Ice Blast lands onto multiple heroes. He's turning to try and threaten them. He will end up dead though. Has he bought enough time for the escape of the Lifestealer? That maybe appears the case. He's forced to Omna Toggle though. This damage from Mobe. The only reason that he's gonna survive is that Mobe does not have infinite mana. But there is Thunder Gods. Is he gonna do it? He's Omna Toggling. Mobe's thinking about it. But he will decide to be merciful and let him go.
He's terrified. He's still thinking about it. But no, Mobe, he's chosen the wave. It'd be insane if he just Arcane Boots Thunder God's Wrath right now. At this point, you assume that you TP'd home or found a way to heal, and you want to save that spell. Now that RP is online, you can't really afford to waste the Thunder God's Wrath, especially if you can just make it impossible for kits to find that RP. But still, tower defended, 8k gold lead, playing in the river again for that 16-minute rune. And you've got a blink on the Zeus, so finding him is even more difficult. Mobe is just playing for his own movement, playing to survive these encounters. If you don't get him with the RP, you don't get him with the Centaur Stomp, then he's freeing away. He's chilling, even though every hero should be here in the river. Rune does get lucky for the mag, though. Even though he blinked?
Oh my gosh, dude. He blinks, tumblers twice, and then heavenly jumps. Are you kidding me? Why does Zeus have that degree of mobility? Looks like they want to force the fight, though. Supernova popped in at the moment by a blink, but they have the Stampede. They just get themselves back. That's a trade you'll take any day of the week. Stampede for Supernova? Sure. Sadly, though, it does mean that without the Stampede, they might be able to just take the tier 1 tower by posting up in front of it.
Yeah, it's very committal now. If you go for that RP play, there's no way for you to run away, especially with the supports. But okay, they're trying to take Mu in, but he's hurting.
My god, Mu is going to end up killing off 2 heroes with the Thunder God's Wrath assistance. And he's still alive right now. Abyss comes in, hoping to kill him off. But the ice shots from Husky prevents the Lifestealer from closing down the Bristleback. Lifestealer is gone. I think Fade is going to be joining him, even standing still for a minute, contemplating his life's decisions, reckoning with every mistake that led him to have to play this particular game of Dota. And you said it with the best. Yes, you can commit the RP, but super high risk. Medium reward, low reward, 0 reward. They get punished and team wiped in front of their own tier 2.
There's just no escape plan. There's no way to get out. There's no plan B. We're gonna try to kill him under the tower. To make matters worse, Mu gets off the Ag spell. He gets that Bristleback. The quills start stacking up, and you just die. You can't do much. He just presses Bristleback. During all of that, Samson's just kind of there for fun, throwing out spells. He didn't really need to commit anything. And it looks like now it's time for another sub 20-minute Roche. Why the hell not? Give it to the Lina, make it almost impossible for her to die. Already, she is so farmed, doesn't really matter. See if he gets lucky with a Grove Bow, and then he's even more obnoxious. The old super obnoxious Lina. But the game plan is just working. They don't even give it to him. They say, Mu, you know what? They're the one trying to kill you. You're playing versus AA. Sure, take the Aegis. See if we care.
It's one of those games, you know, when the enemy team has so many other problems that you as a carry are allowed to play for free, but maybe they'll regret not giving the Lina the Aegis, but it was nighttime. If this was daytime, Samson would be 100% dead right now. But it's nighttime, so Fade does not have the necessary vision. Man, I'm sure he wishes he was playing Batrider right now. Like, man, that would have been nice. Game is hard.
Game is very, very hard.
Still gonna try reach for it though. They get the vision out. Samson, the snowball will connect. The ice ball, the snowball did not actually get him out of trouble. So because of that, the ice blast brings him low enough that he does end up dead. Rare mistake coming in from Husky, not getting the full salvation when he was needed. That will lead to a huge, huge kill onto Samson. And another huge injection of gold into the lifestealer here.
Oh, it's a 2,000 gold dip there. And Moo, well, open wounds.
Okay, I don't know about this one though, guys. I don't know about this one, guys. This is a bristleback we're talking about here. I don't know about this one, guys. Lifestealer ends up dead, punished for his sins, for his hubris in thinking could take down the bristle god. And the chase might still continue. Husky finding the snowball forward onto Flea, and he will be able to hold him up. There's the ice shards, giving ample opportunity for Mobe to finish off this Dark Willow. Bro, why did they go on Bristleback with an Aegis?
It just feels like they're trying way too much. He felt like, I don't know. The way he walked up to that bristle and open wounds him was if open wounds was going to somehow kill Moo. But it just doesn't work like that. There's just no way it does that much damage. Otherwise, maybe we'd see Lifestealer as much as we do see Bristle. And Kits, solo kill, Shadow Blade, easy as that. And look at that, he did get the Grove Bow. So we really are at the Lina Major.
Yeah. Grove Bow, baby. Nice, 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 nice. Wonderful. I heard an Infest somewhere, so they're going to try and make an Infest play. They see Lina, but they have reinforcements waiting in the wings. I don't think this is a good idea. I think you let this one go. At this point in time, yeah, the Bristleback's not here, but who do you actually kill? The thing is, this Lifestealer also doesn't really have items to kill any of these heroes. And look, they can jump forward with Husky. Husky's not even that afraid for his own life. During the rage, he can run away from Abyss. He will throw Ice Blast out. It will connect Flush onto Husky. It's only level 1 Ice Blast though, so there's a high likelihood he ends up surviving. Snowball gonna buy time away from the duration of Tick, and that'll mean that he is A-okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Pomoika, every single time they attempt these plays, they take a hero out of that farming rotation. Nobody is getting a breakaway towards top. You're not getting to use that much of the map right now. And it's so balanced. It's so good. Free shard for the Zeus.
Yay. Yay. Game is hot. Game is very difficult. To make matters worse, you were mentioning earlier the lack of damage output coming in from the Magnus. The situation is even more dire because I'm looking at what Abyss has queued up. And he's going for the AC next after having the armlet phase boots. And I do definitely understand wanting more armor against Bristleback Lina, but man, he's gonna hit like a wet noodle. There's just no damage. Who's actually gonna die to this Lifestealer in a genuine engagement?
There's no Deso, there's no nifty butterfly play, and here we go. They find Kits and, well, I don't know, you're not doing anything.
Yeah, Kits needs to get out of here. They pop the Stampede. They even throw in the Terrorize, but the Terrorize misses completely, but they're all just trying to run as quickly as they can. TPs are forced out. SMN will be denied an opportunity to do so. Because this time around, Mobe does not have mercy. Bursts him down. And that was a smoke move that they made. Pomyaka were hoping to try and catch someone from Bammy off guard there, but they just don't have the tools to do it.
Nope, absolutely not. And then Samson, now hunting Fade. Does he have the damage here? Let's see it. Yeah, it feels like he does.
Yeah, Lina Major. Good times. He feels so confident about the game. He's even giving up buying a Silver Edge, just going straight for BKB. And I must say, ET, if I'm playing a Centaur or a Lifestealer, I'm actually insulted that the Lina feels that they don't need Silver Edge. They're like, you're weak enough to not to have to bother with it, bro.
Especially because he could just get straight up RP'd, you know. It's not a great BKB game. It's kind of tough to find a great BKB game nowadays, but We've got bigger problems. We've got Mobe almost having a refresher. We've got Mu continuing to scale, gonna have Octarine sooner than later, and then we just got even more Quills in front of us. The good news is that at least there isn't an Aegis for them to play around, but do you get confidence to even make a smoke play? You can still find Samson, you can still get the Lina playing by herself, and that's about all you can say right now for Pomoika. They have these spells, they have all 5 of their ultimates, they'd love to get something going, but they need to create a situation where Bammysoy are split. You have to move away, you have to give yourself some space. I don't like this. They're gonna try to go all in here.
Yep, he's looking for the skewer play, and they do manage to find him. And they actually push him deep towards the base. Husky's too far away for the snowball. So the execution does pan out. And they got to save the RP in the process, so they could re-engage this fight, which is exactly what they're going to do. They're going on at the drums, but it was a debate on the high ground with Stampede. They get their Centaur blown the hell up. And now Mu, he's the one on the forward proportion of the fight, trying to bring down SMN, succeeding in the prospect. Kits prevented from escaping with the eye shots from Husky. That's going to force the pop out from this Lifestealer. But now he has no more options. He would love to take down the Supernova during the rage, but he knows that's not an option. Terrorize buys a little bit of time though. But all it does is buy time. It turns out he only bought the cheap plan, not the deluxe edition. So 3 seconds later, Lifestealer is dead regardless. And Bammysoy, despite losing Sammy in a very nice play from Pomoika, everything else still comes in flush with him, because turns out you can't actually fight into them even 4v5.
You know, they get this good skewer play, and then the route they take to re-engage in that fight it's just the worst. They're fighting against their opponent's high ground vision. Everybody is seen at that point, and then you get picked apart. Zeusel comes through, almost instantly kills Fade. He's not able to do anything. He's not tanky in the slightest. Maybe they get dewarded now. I don't think Blink can stay around long enough to protect this vision, but you're just gonna respawn on these heroes. The Zeus and the Bristleback, they're not getting stopped. Refresher is now done by that Zeus, so all of that HP that you were kind of working with, well, now you've got even less of it. It feels like a hairball plus double Zeus ulti might be enough to kill these supports on the side of Pomoika. It's just not looking very easy. He's not even level 18 yet, and he has a Refresher.
Honestly, the way things are looking, I'm not even sure it'll take the double Zeus ult to kill these heroes off. These supports are so squishy. 1100 health for Flea. How much HP is on this Ancient Apparition right now? Also 1100. And I'm also really surprised that Fade hasn't opted to queue up a pipe or something for this game. Just given how overwhelming the magic damage has proven to be between the Phoenix and the Zeus. Feels like they could really use some degree of mitigation against that.
Nope, absolutely. You'd love to have a little bit more farm. You'd love to be able to push them back, but it's also an incredibly short Roche timer, so they're just going to be able to move across back towards that Roche pit, and then they can do whatever.
Bammysoy and the boys playing the easiest game of their lives right now. Roche is up, waiting on the dire side for somebody to come say hello. Honestly, I feel like Bristleback Lina could go do it themselves with 0 assistance and it would be fine.
No, all it takes is scouting, and it's respawning so quickly that they might not even make it over there for a little bit longer. They might wait for that second timer just to hedge their bets. Because while they're not taking Roche, they're farming everything. They've got a gem on Mu, they're taking away vision and control from Pomoika by just being out onto the map. And at least Kits has a big purchase here, but he doesn't feel confident enough to get the Harpoon. This is big though.
Okay, they go in for the fight, but the Icarus dive away. The Phoenix is fine. Oh no, that's not what's supposed to happen. Fade actually gets demolished by the spells coming in from the Zeus. So no Centaur available. Bristleback with the hairball able to ensure that SMN does die. And because he needed to infest to stay alive, Abyss might not be safe either. But there's the 3 hero RP. There's the combo that they needed. But there's no Ice Blast. There's no damage. There's no way to win the fight thereafter, impressive as it looks. Samson blinks onto the high ground with the Laguna and just starts right-clicking with reckless abandon, getting himself a triple, looking for the ultra kill. And he's still alive, blinks away to disjoint the tier 3 tower. They can't even find the Lina, even though she's on the cusp of death. He brought back, he wants to kill Mu, but he realizes that Mu is actually much stronger than him, even with only 1/3 of his HP. Flea brought back as well, but my friend, please, just stay in the jungle, stay in the trees. Do not go looking for this fight. Bammysoy and the gang, man. They're just way too strong right now, Easy.
No, and with all that, now they can just go back to Roche. They can do whatever they want. They can decide to slow this game down. They're really under very little threat. Love the blink purchase from Samson. Just fixes his positioning immediately. Is able to get that follow-up stun. If Fade gets the follow-up hoof stomp, maybe they keep that chain stun going on those heroes, but they die. They can't survive. They can't last long enough. Move finally scouts out that Roche, and it's time for another Aegis for this Lina, most likely. Because at this point, she gets that. I don't know if Samson can die twice.
If I'm Samson, though, I'm telling my team I'm not a coward, boys. Don't worry. I've managed to avoid dying just fine without the Aegis. I'll be good. Roche with cheese getting taken away. Nothing they can really do about it on the enemy lineup. I mean, the Ice Blast is nice. It would have been cool if they at least got the Aegis or the Roshan kill, but unfortunately, this game is not nearly that kind to the side of Pomoika's.
No, and look at that. Win probability.
Win
not.
probability.
Yeah.
So if there is a chance for them to come back into this game, where do you think it lies? Is there a particular timing that they're waiting for before they can realistically start actually doing progressive things on the map?
I think it quite literally is the closer they get to the Pomoika Fountain, the more likely those hero plays can happen, the more likely you can get them under those tier 4s and then actually kill these heroes off. It's just so annoying to get them in that circumstance. Aegis
in tow. Only 3 tier 2 towers still to claim for them, so there's objectives that can still work towards. It's all about how they get stopped from taking those objectives. Looks like top is going to be the first one. They even smoke up for it. Let's see who's going to show themselves behind the tier 2 tower. Who's going to break his smoke. They're running forward. They actually get the Thunder God's Wrath. They see where these heroes are at. They're going to be forcing the Rage CP out of this Lifestealer immediately. But the primary objective is achieved. Zone them away from the tier 2 tower so we can take it easily.
Yeah, it's very simple. They're able to move across the map. Arcane Rune now spawning up in the river. They'd love to get that next. It's just difficult for them to make any play right now. I think Husky just popped a smoke onto Moo, but this is where you're going to start to lose those tier 2s. That gold lead's going to skyrocket. It already is insane for Bammysoy. 1k a minute right now. But you need a miracle. You need a skewer back play. The closer they are to the fountain, maybe you can get some kind of shenanigans going. But in the meantime, all you can hope is that Husky messes up another blink save with the snowball. Then at least you get 2 heroes. But the egg is almost bulletproof at this point. Moo,
okay,
there you go.
And get the snowball is gonna be there. Gonna buy some time. They do still have the Terrorize though. They throw it out with the Ice Blast, but it doesn't come out in time to save the life of Kits as our Magnus goes down. Mobe as well blinks onto the high ground to hunt down SMN, while the Lifestealer, he just got drive-by killed by Samson, who was barely even trying to go after him. Samson now able to bring down Flea as well. They turn it into another massive teamfight victory for themselves. Should easily be able to claim a tier 2 tower in the mid lane. And it feels honestly, ET, like they're playing with their food a little bit right now for Bammysoy.
No, they're really stalling up on a lot of these objectives. But now there's almost nothing. And look at that, 99%. It's rough. They need to get in the fountain ASAP. But the problem is, if you get Moo in the fountain, well, Moo kind of wants to be in the fountain. Moo might kill you in your own fountain, because that's how Bristle works, baby.
Yep.
It's so fun. But now, finally, high ground is broken. Your second glyph's already been used. They give the cheese to Samson, so he still has that Aegis to play around with, but it's not looking pretty. They'll reset their posture a little bit here, move the Zeus a little bit further back, but now you've got this awkward timing. 10 seconds, 15 seconds on the remainder of your lineup. You don't want to buy back with that short time, but by the time they fully respawn, half this tower is going to be gone.
Yep. To make matters worse, they do respawn, but we don't have RP. And that's the only real mechanism that they have for fighting up against Bammysoy. They will back off though, showing some respect. This is the kind of discipline that we want out of teams that expect to do well at lands. We don't know if they're going to do well just yet. We don't even know if they're going to be there, but trying to prove themselves. Pomoika, Fade, himself and Comfort, Abyss, are trying to prove themselves capable of killing a core hero as they're waiting for the chance to jump onto the Lina, and they're going to find it. Lina dragged back, but there was no moment of misplay, hesitation. There's the RP though on the 3, and Lina will die. That's her first life taken away, but it comes at the same time as the Dark Willow gets taken out with the Ancient Apparition. Lifestealer, he's trying to run, he's trying to hide, but it cannot be done. He gets easily caught up to, easily killed off. Even Kits, realizing that running into your own base is not a safe place to be, they get team wiped, they throw in the towel. GG, well played is called. And Bammysoy will find themselves continuing in the qualifiers as they knock out pomoikas and keep hopes of going to Kuala Lumpur alive for Sammy Boy and the crew.
Yeah. Much cleaner victory than game one, I think.